even though it's always super fun and amazing talking about free agents coming to the team as well as especially draft picks, they eventually do take someone's gerb, and it could be one of the Vikings veteran luminaries who could be saying bye-bye. And it's really unfortunate, and we become attached to these players, see them come in as rookies, watch them become stars, but eventually everyone gets got. Father Time is undefeated, except for Tom Brady. He's trying to run up the score against Father Time. But here are 5 Vikings where 2022 could be last dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. That's right. So take a look at the list. Now, what was interesting is that Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, they saw the existing talent on the roster. And now all 5 of these guys easily could have been gone this offseason if they wanted to fully tear it down or rebuild. But the Vikings, they feel like they have a talented roster, they have a talented nucleus, and they wanted one more shot, one more bite at the apple. And they even reworked the deal of Adam Thielen. So go from there. Now, the ages of all 5 of these guys heading into 2023. So week 1, 2023, here's how old they'll be. Dalvin will be 28, which is like 75 years old in running back years. Thielen will be 33. Danielle will be 28. More on him in a sec. Kendricks will be 31, and Harrison Smith will be 34. Now, 3 of these guys did have potential replacements drafted. So we got Ty Chandler with Dalvin Cook, as well as the rise of Kinkenny and Wangu. Plus, you have Brian Asamoah, a 4th-round pick coming in for Kendricks, as well as Lewis Cine for Harrison Smith. So now, looking at the numbers, Vikings in a bit of a salary crunch for 2023, but of course, as we know, hashtag cap is a myth, because of Rob Thug Life Brzezinski, they can make it work if they want to keep some of these veterans. But if they want to clear up quick cap space, either to be players in free agency or give Justin Jefferson all the money, this would be the easiest way to do it. And they may want to move on. So Dalvin Cook, $10.4 million salary in 2023, a $14 million cap hit, $6.2 million dead from his prorated signing bonus. Also, all these guys, they don't have any guaranteed money left in their contracts. So they would clear up about $7.9 million in cap space if they just axe Dalvin Cook, which, again, it sucks. You get attached to these players, and you're just like, it hurts, man. It just really does hurt. Now, does he have some trade value? Probably not at that salary, and probably not at what age he's going to be next year. But, I mean, maybe you get like a day 3 selection out of the deal. Maybe, hey, Miami, hey, bring Dalvin home one time. I don't know. Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen. So this one really sucks because I think that Thielen does have some good football left in him. I think that he could age gracefully, a la Larry Fitzgerald, where he can be very valuable and competent, working primarily from the slot. But he is due an $11.817 million deal. Now, he is the player that they reworked the contract with, where it wasn't even a restructure. It was basically a raise. So he got a little bit more guaranteed money. Thielen has nearly $20 million cap hit for 2023. 13.55 million of which is dead. So it would be a big chunk to swallow, but you would still free up 6.4 million in dead cap, and plus you can space that out if you designate him a post June 1st cut, etc. Danielle Hunter. So Danielle's an interesting one because they obviously wouldn't cut him, but if they're not going to pay him, especially if and when he has a phenomenal 2022 season, then I think a trade certainly would be on the table, and he'd only be 28 years old. If he has a phenomenal season this year, I think that his trade value would be extremely high, but he has a $4.9 million base salary in 2023, $13.12 million cap hit, and 18.86 of which would be dead. So they wouldn't cut him because it would be cutting off their nose to spite their face. But this could be a spot where Danielle is either traded or they have to pay him. They have to pay him market value at that point. Eric Kendricks. I love Eric Kendricks, man. Like, Eric Kendricks is a guy who never gets his due nationally. Vikings fans, they know what's up. But with Kendricks, he's played in a 4-3 his entire career. And now with the Vikings shifting to a 3-4, his role will be slightly different. And I think that he'll be fine with it. But who knows? Who knows with a new regime change? Because Kendricks has only played under one defensive coordinator his entire career, Mike Zimmer, and he has a $9.15 million salary in 2023, $11.4 million cap hit, but only $1.93 Johan Santana prime dental floss thin dead cap. So the Vikings saved $9.5 million by moving on from Eric Kendricks, which just sucks. it just sucks to think about, but it is what it is. And then you have Harrison Smith, who's due a $14.7 million base salary in 2023, $19.2 million cap hit, $11.747 million dead, but he'd still free up $7.5 million. Now, this one could be interesting because I think that Harrison could and should still have some trade value after he has a good season this year. But with the Vikings drafting Lewis Seen and with Cameron Bynum still rising up at safety, maybe this is a case of, hey, just too many cooks in the kitchen. And even though Harrison Smith has been a phenomenal lifelong Viking so far, maybe they do let him go. Maybe they do trade him. Maybe they do X, Y, Z. So I don't know. Again, this. It always sucks looking ahead because some of your favorite players potentially moving on. But that's also a card that Kwesi has in his back pocket, where Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, they sold to ownership, hey, we can win with the previous regime's players. Well, we can do that. That's why the Vikings didn't have a major overhaul on the roster that you usually see when new GM and new head coach come in. But they could always still be like, hey, if 2022, knock on wood, somehow ends up being flat, which it won't, Super Bowl homeboy, but if the Vikings 2022 season does not meet expectations, they could just go to ownership, be like, hey, what do you want? Hey, we were operating with the previous regime's players, so we need a little bit more time to completely revamp and overhaul this roster. So, yeah, we're going to get rid of the veterans. So, Dalvin's going to be traded to the Dolphins. Thielen's going to be let go. Kendricks is going to be cut. Hunter's either going to be extended or traded. Harrison Smith is either going to be cut or traded. So, yeah, I mean, savor this year, because it is a fun time with a new regime and a handful of new rookies, and the new offense is going to be fantastic. But a lot of Vikings players that you've loved over the last decade or close to it, this could be it. This could indeed be the last dance for them in 2022. But your thoughts on our thoughts? Vikings, potentially. The last dance? Let's know. I don't know why. I don't know why Harrison's Phil Jackson. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.